Hi, and thank you for turning in to USK Karate Academy's Technical Tips Series. My name is David Alvas, Master Instructor and Director of USK Karate Academy. In this week's series, we're going to overview 4 different kinds of stances. The first stance that we're going to look at is a front stance, or chungul jase in Korean. The second stance is a back stance, or hugul jase. Third stance is a kima jase, or horse stance. And the fourth stance will be the cross-legged stance, or kyosetive jase. Okay, in this week's Technical Tips series, we're going to be overviewing 4 different stances, and today we're going to start with the front stance, or chungul jase. It's important to remember that stances are the foundation of our training, so we have to pay a lot of attention to making sure that the weight distribution and the angles are correct to create maximum power when we're doing techniques. We're not really going to explore today how to enter into the stances. That's going to be coming in later series. What we're going to explore today is basically the finished product of a stance. The first one that we're going to look at is the front stance. When you're doing a proper front stance, it's important to make sure that your feet stay shoulder width apart. If you notice the way I'm standing right now, my feet are shoulder width apart, so when I slide my leg back to create my stance, I'm going to keep that leg on line with my shoulders so that both legs are lining up with my shoulder. From a wide stance, from a wide lens, and then again from the front, level with this shoulder and level with this shoulder. You want the knot of your belt facing 22.5 degrees, or about halfway before hitting completion, facing totally to the front. So 22.5 degrees is the correct angle. The back foot should be pointing 45 degrees, and the front knee should be bent just enough so that you cannot see the toes on your front foot. You don't want to be bent too much. You don't want to have your front knee locked out. Just look down and bend your knee enough till you cannot see your toes. When you can't see your toes anymore, you know you have the right depth. So from a side view, feet shoulder width apart, 22.5 degrees on the angle of the hip, knee bent, back leg locked straight, and the back toes 45 degrees. Also notice that I'm keeping my back straight. So that's your basic front stance. The next stance that we're going to review is back stance. Opposite of a front stance in that all the weight is in the back leg. Okay? So from here, again, you want to maintain a shoulder width stance. 80% of your weight is going to be on your back leg with your front foot on the ball of the foot. And again, you want to make sure you have a nice straight back. You want to be leaning over this way, just like so. Okay, from this angle. Almost a 90-degree angle here with the knees, as you can see. 80% of the weight on the back leg, 20% on the front, on the ball of the back foot. That's your basic back stance. Next stance we're going to look at is our horse stance, which is also known as kima jase in Korean. Just like you're sitting on a horse. Feet should be about twice shoulder width in this stance. Okay? Toes forward and parallel to each other, but the knees should be pressed out. It's very common for beginners to let the knees buckle on this stance. You don't want to do that. You want to keep the toes forward and the knees pressed out, and again back straight, not leaning here, not leaning back. Nice straight posture. And you'll be able to see the straight back from the side view. Knees out, toes parallel, back straight. Okay? And the last stance that we're going to review is going to be the cross-legged stance, or kyosetive jase. Okay, there's a couple different ways to do kyosetive jase. Today we're just going to review a basic version of it. And that basic version involves having one foot on the flat and one foot on the ball of foot. Very simple. You're going to cross your legs like a scissors. The leg that's closest to you is the one that's going to be flat on the floor. The one in the back is on the ball of the foot. So from this angle, foot in front of my body is flat. The one that's behind me is on the ball of the foot, and then I'm going to drop my weight down. Again, keeping my back straight and hips square. So those are your 4 basic stances. Stance training is critical to becoming a solid martial artist. It's important that when you train at home, you take your stances seriously and you practice them over and over again. And it's especially helpful to do them in front of a mirror so that you can make sure that your angles are correct and you can watch yourself and make self-corrections. However, keep in mind that there's no substitution for going to class. Thank you very much for watching. USK Karate Academy's Technical Tips Series. Once again, my name is David Alvas, Master Instructor and Director. I look forward to seeing you in your next class.